What's up, everyone? This is Very Melman. Welcome you back to our Let's Play of Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin Edition. Last episode, we finally found the king after venturing throughout the Shrine of Amana and traveling underground to the Undead Crypt, only to discover that Vendrick himself had become a hollow. This plot twist is pretty shocking, to say the least. However, we did recover this, the King's Ring. What the King's Ring does is allow us to open up the King's Gate. Now, what the King's Gate is actually depends on the area. It does vary. Before we do anything else, we're going to talk to her.
You've been long away. Well,
you see, Chloanne's stock upgrades once you get the King's Ring. To the point where she sells you all of this ore. She also sells you infinite Titanite shards and infinite large Titanite shards. This is definitely the most important thing right now. But sorry about that. That chunk. We're just going to get 3 since that's all we need.
visit me. Upriver?
Oh, that's right.
I was born in a land to the west, Bulgan, famous for its merchants. There were great, bustling cities. But for me, they were suffocating. And so I set out, in search of stones in faraway lands. There are dangers, for certain, but I much prefer to live this way.
Black guy.
For the
It's
life of me,
gross.
I can't remember how I
Should
ended up
be.
here. It's as if I were drawn to the place, or lured in. Oh, I don't know.
Alright.
No injury.
So that's something else that happened, which is why I did that. Next, we're going to go here. McDuff's workshop. Alright, we have some weapons we need to infuse. First, let's infuse our Black Witch's Staff with a Dark Knight Stone. That'll make it do far more hex damage than normal. Now, as you see here, before the hex infusion, the point of the Black Witch's Staff is to be evenly spread throughout all the magical types. We need that Dark Knight Stone. Next, we're going to make the Roaring Halberd a Dark Roaring Halberd. After that, we're going to reinforce all our weapons, both of them, as far as we can. Black Witch's Staff and a Titanite Slab. Alright. Roaring Halberd. Alright. Halberd plus 3, right there.
Flee. Flee.
Alright. Dark Roaring Halberd needs 16 strength for us to one hand, which is fine. Dark Witch's Staff. Since it's an upgrade from our Dark Witch's Staff, Look at that damage. All right.
Bearer of
32 minutes gives us 6 slots. As you can see here, our Black Witch's staff. You probably didn't notice before, but when we had a staff equipped, we couldn't use our Resident Soul weapons. We couldn't use our Resident Soul or Great Resident Soul with a staff equipped. Those are restricted to chimes, if you will. But now we have the Black Witch's staff. We can use chime restricted hexes and miracles for, well, on a staff weapon.
You've had quite a journey, I can see. You must have a glorious number of souls by now. What a wonderful feeling that must be.
Alright. Me heal, Great Heal Excerpt. A highly advanced miracle, an excerpt in the Great Heal Tome, greatly restores HP. Great Heal is limited use. Let's see, actually. I guess I'll get Great Heal Excerpt, why not?
May the offer your souls to the gods.
Alright. Whew, okay. Oh, so I already had Great Heal. Okay, good. I didn't need to buy Excerpt. Dark Weapon. Alright. So there we go. Great Heal Excerpt. Basically bring us back to HP like that. It's a healing spell, so if we ever need it, that's how we'd use it. To continue our journey, we need to head to the Rune Fork Road. Actually, before we do this, I should probably go back to the Drang Lake Castle. Yeah. Since we have the King's Ring now, we should actually go talk to Nishandra, the Queen. Oh, went backwards. Oh, you know what? Since we have the key thing embedded, we should actually just take care of that while we're here. Deal with the Finito locked in that cage. Look at all these gold and jewels on the floor. I never even noticed that there's all this gold here. And yeah, for some reason you can still summon players here. Or you can still see their signs. I don't know if that's a visual glitch or not. But it feels like a glitch, because there's nothing to summon them for.
Drang Lake is no longer. Brave undead, seek the throne. Follow the symbol of the monarch, and do what must be done. Brave undead,
Alright, that's all she'll say. Yep, we can hear the chains. We're getting closer. Before he plunged in his heart, let me show you what the key to the embedded looks like. The sword that opens the embedded's door, shaped like a weapon, but is in fact a key. Plunge the key into the embedded to bring a rhapsodic end to his fate. The once human embedded, realizing that he could never resist the temptations of the flesh, bound himself eternally within chains. Since then, he has awaited the day that somebody will find this key and bury it within his bosom. The key requires 15 strength and 20 dexterity in order to wield one-handed. And this is what it looks like. That's the moveset. Well, the two-handed moveset anyway. Oh, wait. Does it have the combo I think it does? Oh, it's got that Claymore poke swing combo. Nice. Oh, the moveset on this is actually pretty good. Huh. Shame I have to get this up. Use Keithing embedded. Yeah, you lose it forever if you do that. There's the trapped Finito. We now have a Ring of the Dead as our reward for this. What this does is that even when you're hollow, you'll keep your human appearance. The word this ring appears even when hollow. Right. They say that in the Undead Crypt, we can reacquaint ourselves with the dead. We all suffer loss, and none of us can escape death. Then, what is the fascination with reclaiming that which has already passed into the beyond? Interesting philosophical questions. Yeah, that leads to the, alright. So it's upstairs, okay. Yeah, it's kind of easy to get turned around in here. As you hear the last song of the Finito, we embrace her, and we wish her a good rest in the next life. This is the next direction we have to go in. Yeah. I feel so weird casting this swell without that. That's my fault. I got cocky. I got super cocky there, so that's my fault. I really just wanted to show off. Alright. Red Tearstone Ring. If you're gonna use the Red Tearstone Ring, a ring set with a rare Tearstone. Reacts when the wearer is in danger, temporarily increasing the wearer's attack power. Kaifa, goddess of tears, mourns the undeserving dead, shedding tears as red as blood. It's said that the stone set in this ring is one such tear. Interesting. Right, so basically the point of that ring is to increase your damage when you have low HP. It encourages a glass cannon build, only you're more of a one-hit point wonder build. Alright. You have the King's Ring equipped, this door unlocks. Until you get the King's Ring, though, while you can travel to this door, there's nothing you can do. Luckily, we're at a point in the game we can actually do something about that. Here he is, Aldia's Keep. Alright, so let me see here. Teal. Peak. After entering Earthen Peak, go down to Desert. Passage to the right, the room adjacent to this passage will find her. Let's go find Lucatilla one last time. Ooh. Just gonna wait for this guy to get dusted by the poison. Oh crap. Look at that, one hit kills. Okay. Yep, there's Lucatille.
Oh. You... My thoughts are very scattered. What is this curse? The question rings in my mind, but I haven't the focus to answer it. Loss frightens me no end. Loss of memory, loss of self. If I were told that by killing you I would be freed of this curse, then I would draw my sword without hesitation. I don't want to die. I want to exist. I would sacrifice anything.
Yeah.
Anything at all for this. It shames me, but it is the truth.
Yeah, it's pretty sad that Lucatille is an undead and she's suffering from the curse, which means she's finally starting to forget her entire past.
Sometimes I feel obsessed with this insignificant thing called self. Even so, I am compelled to preserve it. Am I wrong to feel so? Surely you do the same in my shoes. Maybe we're all cursed from the moment we're born.
That is one terrifying way to look at the undead curse. Since, while we do know what caused it, there is no reason to believe that the potential for the curse to have infected us all this time, even before the age of the first flame. It's a possibility.
Sometimes maybe...
Still, it's a theory, terrifying as it may be. Since we don't have anything else to do with them, we'll use a Ferris Lockstone here. Poison Bite Ring and the Soul of a Proud Knight. A free Poison Bite Ring. How many Ferris Lockstones do I have left? 6. Oh my god. Well, yeah, we really have those to burn. You know, it's funny, because I remember having to travel... I remember distinctly having to travel through poison water in the original version of the game, and not just poison mist. Another skeptic spice. Okay. Alright then. And here's Ukatil at the final leg of her quest line.
Who are you? Oh. No, forgive me. I know you. Yes, of course. How goes your journey? I know not what you seek in this faraway land, but I pray for your safety. Please take these.
The Mirror Greatsword and Lucatil's set.
Consider this thanks for keeping me safe.
Lucatil's vest. Vest worn by knights while on travel. Belonged to Lucatil of Mira. Only those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield were admitted to the elite ranks of Mira's official order of knights. It's common to hear of a peasant's dream of striving for knighthood and escape from hardship, but who would ever think it possible? And... Mira Grey Shield. Great sword issued to the proud knights of Mira's official order. This one was wielded by Lucatil. This great sword demands advanced skill and a rare and unique sword technique. A tiny message is inscribed in the blade. I promise there's something special. But yeah, as you can see here, unlike most great swords, the Mirror Greatsword requires higher amounts of dexterity to use than strength. That fits the lore requiring rare and unique sword techniques and the advanced skill necessary to use those techniques. So it's a neat little twist in the greatsword. I don't know what the weapon's actually like, but at the very least it is a very interesting idea.
My name is Lucatil. I beg of you remember my name, for I may not myself. My name, I beg for...
Yeah. I want to get the items in this area, but those dog things are gonna be... I think we need to be dead anyway, though, because the guy we're supposed to meet coming up. Wow, they got me. They really got me. Okay, well, you know what? I'll come back to that guy later. Affinity. Ooh. You can farm affinity from those guys? Next we get the poison throwing knife. A petrified dragon bone and the soul of a nameless soldier. Three alluring skulls. I'm pretty sure this one is a mimic. Yep. The dark mask of the malformed skull. All right. As you can see from the damage we're putting out, the look at the damage we're putting out. Look at that. Jesus Christ. That was Aslateel Mira, Lucateel's brother, by the way. So yeah, as I was trying to say earlier, this is the Roaring Halberd. We got this way back into the LP, but I didn't have the stats or really had the upgrades to make out its full potential. But now that we made a Dark Roaring Halberd plus 3, it's actually doing pretty great damage while buffed. Because it's a natural dark damage dealing weapon, we were able to use the Dark Infusion to bring out its dark damage even more. And it can be buffed, which also makes that dark damage higher. As a result, the Roaring Halberd becomes a very devastating weapon. Yeah, we have enough stamina for a 4-hit combo, that's good. I'm a little disappointed they took out this gag. Like, in the original game, the skeleton would start out at the top, and then we get closer, it would come crashing down on you and actually try to attack you before it lost life. Now, do not push that lever. Do not push that lever. I warn you, don't do that.
Please, just stay away. No, please, don't come near me. Nothing good will come of it. Just leave me alone, please. Leave this place and leave me be, as I'd not see any harm befall you. Please, just leave me alone. Please.
Yeah. The guy doesn't want anything to do with you. I'll explain why later on in the video, because I plan to make this cover some more details. That was a red crystal lizard, which just explode when you get too close to them, so no loss. Great magic barrier. And they're a copy of those. These guys behind the mirror. And yes, they have the exact same design as the Looking Glass Nightmare. Sadness indeed. Jesus, he's stuck in between the mirrors. Melee game was weak. And another petrified dragon bone. I really like this thing. Jesus, we haven't even fully upgraded yet, but the potential is so high. I really like the Roaring Halberd. A bright bug. Yo. And over here, Celsor Luet. I haven't told you anything about Celsor Luet because I never summoned him, but the gist of this guy is that he's a tank. He has 2 great shields, he has heavy armor, high poise, and he comes equipped with a special ring that will instantaneously draw all aggro towards him, no matter who's fighting him. It works on mooks, it works on bosses. He's basically there in case you need someone to, you know, attack. Oh, and his shields, I think we have them now. Orm's Great Shield and Reeve's Great Shield. Shield of the knights who long ago attempted to conquer the undead crypt. They bore no weapons, only shields split into left and right halves, which they used to playfully crush their foes until their corpses were needed beyond recognition. The engraving depicts 2 messages from the hereafter who welcome the recently dead by throwing the merits of their deeds and reviewing the merits of their deeds in life. Yeah, the deal here is that these great shields have movesets and attack. You can attack with them. Like, they have combos you can pull them off. You can use a fragrant branch of Jor on him, but you don't need one in order to progress. I think. Man, alright. Yeah, you don't need one to progress. There's stairs up here to take you to the same place. So it's a bit of a mystery to me why they even have that thing off there like, there's no point. And even more uselessly, you can use a fragrant branch against that guy. The strangest thing is, he's not even guarding anything, so it's like, what's the actual point? But yeah, the point of Aldia's Keep is that this is where Aldia conducted all of his experiments. This is where he locked them away, where Vendrick actually locked Aldia away. When Vendrick grew too disgusted with everything Aldia was doing to his subjects, to his experiments, just the lengths he would go to try to cure the undead curse. It's got a very bloody, ugly history. And that giant thing, I think we can avoid you. Let me try to get this, though. A crimson wire. Yeah, no, I don't want to try and mess with that thing, if I can help it. To proceed further, we have to pull this. Ferrous Lockstone, why not? Yeah. See several things up here. Several monsters, several experiments locked up, tested. And they will disturb you. An item, another Ferrous Lockstone. The reason I went here is to get this side passageway. Hello? It says someone left a comment, but I can't see it. Alright. I can't see your comment, whoever left it. Oh, since I'm here. I have to Majula real quick and upgrade my weapon to +4. Like, as you can see, just... Hello, Pedro Bittencourt. How are you doing today? As you can see here, the amount of damage we get to add on just for going up to +4 is really nice.
I'll be around if you make it back.
down here. Broke the 3K of those dogs. And then we want to take off all our equipment because this is corrosive acid. And you will lose all of your gear otherwise. I don't know why I'm still using the large leather shield at this point. That's locked. Locked. I certainly hope. One of the reasons I haven't been encouraged to explore Aldia's Keep as far as I'd like to is because the risk is just too high. And that is a dragon acolyte. Dragon acolytes are researchers found in the halls of the keep, wearing tattered white robes and strange warped orb hoods. Yep. They conduct experiments within the halls, abducting and caging creatures for research purposes. Try to destroy the chains in the door. Well, Pedro, it's not that I don't want to, it's just that the only way I can think of to do that is to blast open... Yeah, it's not that I can't do that, it's just that I don't want to, because the risk of doing that is just having this hall infested with animals and human beings attack me, and I'd rather not do that. It's gonna be bad enough when that thing breaks out. Now, you see how this wall was just destroyed by one of those giants over there? That's basically how you're supposed to destroy this chain door. The thing is, though, I don't want to do that because I don't want to have to fight all of these things each and every time I want to explore this area. Lot. Great. Not in the mood to deal with you, though. I have places to be. Like this boss fight. Yeah. So the Guardian Dragon was pretty easy, honestly. If you have any type of powerful magic, you can destroy him in a few hits. And we only used regular Resonant Soul. We didn't have great Resonant Soul equipped, which would have taken care of the job much faster. So man, what a beautiful locale this is. Look at all this. Look at all this. This view is amazing. It just shows how far you've come. Like, it's awe-inspiring and it's uplifting. It speaks of hope. The sun pouring down from the mountains, cascading past the clouds. It's like the second best view in the game, in my opinion. This will be the first, like, the absolute best view in the game. Look at all of this. Dragons flying everywhere. Pedro, this is the best view in the game. Look at all this life. Look at the wind pushing against your face, against our clothes. The environment itself is just... It's such a... And look down there. Just how far apart everything is from the ground. The titans in the sky. Just mind your own business. Doing your own thing. And the castle in the background to top it all off. It's one of the most iconic locations in Dark Souls 2, in my honest opinion. It's breathtaking. It looks great, and it just feels great to finally be here. It always is.
Bearer of the curse, long have I awaited one such as you. One who might shatter the shackles of fate. One who can set me free. Bearer of the curse. It was my own manifestation that led you here. The
The ancient dragon has watched over the world for eons past. Take this. Do not resist. The dragon welcomes you.
Hey, Madar, you made it. We made it to the Dragon Eyrie. Look at how beautiful this location is. Look at it. On that note, we also have the Aged Feather. It's an infinite use homeward bone. The child of the dragon, sequestered away from the world, imagined the world of boundless possibilities in the mere sight of a feather. Yeah, this is the Emerald Herald's feather. According to the Iron description, she was raised by dragons. But yeah, part of the scary factor is actually why it's so great looking. Like, you feel heightened, you feel alive because of how dangerous this place is. And it's such a great... It feels great to get here.
Bearer of and
All right. Let's see. The place is above the clouds. Yeah, the Dragon Eyrie is above the clouds. Alright, I think before I go back there, I'm going to try and pick up some loose ends for a second. A couple bosses we haven't dealt with. So let's start with the hardest of the bosses. This video would be kind of short if we just ran straight through. We're gonna take care of some things in order to deal with the bosses. That's why I didn't have my Great Resonant Soul. Alright. These High Knights take so much more more to kill. Alright. In Dragon Age, Soul is talked about Elven cities above the clouds. I can't remember if he did that in the exact line of dialogue, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. Now, the reason everyone here is so much more powerful is because we used the bonfire aesthetic at the beginning of the game in order to respond to the Dragon Rider boss fight here. As a result of that, these guys are going to take longer to kill, relatively speaking. Ooh, yo. Let me see. Where's my Dragon Rider bow? Woo! Gotta watch out for these guys. All right. If you're asking about elves, we'll talk about all I found in its miracles, like balloon cities. Okay. Okay. Thanks for the reminder, Madar. We're not gonna pull that up because we don't need it. And you can farm cracked blue-eyed orb from them. Okay. Alright, let's back out here so I don't draw the other Height Knight. Alright. Okay, melee is a bad idea. Alright. Okay, Medar, you're saying, but built the cities above the clouds is pointless because you can't breathe there because of low oxygen level. I mean, Medar, we're talking about fantasy creatures. The elves of ancient Arlothon probably didn't need that much air, if we're being serious. And from each High Knight, you can possibly get a piece of their equipment to drop. This dragon isn't just here in New Game Plus. The Scholar of the First City Edition. The Scholar of the First Sin Edition added a dragon here at the beginning of the game, even in a very fresh save file. Oh. Come on. Okay, there we go. Oh, you were just talking about real life. Okay. Woo! Oh god, I forgot I still have my bow equipped. Oh, that could have been bad. Yo, Hate Night Chainmail. Wow. That could have been bad, because I forgot I still have my, bow. Oh. Oh. You. I forgot all about you. Ooh, I forgot all about you. Let me, Oh. Okay, trading is not an option. Oh. Okay. All right. Kill that red phantom invader. Okay. Now we have a token of fidelity and a cracked blue eye orb as well. Whoosh. God. Okay. Oh, and for killing that that dragon over here, we get a petrified dragon bone and a watch dragon parma. Now, the Watch Dragon Parma is actually a better shield for you to equip when you have 10 strength than the large leather shield would be. But our large leather shield is actually upgraded, so we're not going to bother switching them out. Alright, have I fought with Sir Alon yet? No. Sir Alon is not going to be coming for a while. Not to mention, he's just one of the hardest fights for me in general. He's, like, Sir Alon is going to be a very difficult fight for me, so I'm not looking forward to it, but we will get to it. Oh my god. You've lost your mind. Okay. You've lost your mind. Okay. This might be where I peace out. Oh! Oh, they hurt each other. Woo! okay. That sweet spot damage really did us a favor. Token of Fidelity, cracked Blue Eye Orb, Token of Fidelity. Okay. Oh my god. Cathedral Blue, old rating life gem. Okay. I don't care. Oh, that fight. It really helped that they could hurt each other. The red guys are called Red Phantoms. But if you meant that in general, Red Phantoms are player killers. They invade your game and they impede your progress. They're a staple of the Souls gameplay experience. And they always basically vary up how the difficulty works because you'll never know what you expect. Those, however, were NPC Red Phantoms, which means they're set and static and, you know, you know what to expect. But players can also invade your games as Red Phantoms, and that's where the real unpredictability comes in. Let me see. Alright. I've killed several mimics over this playthrough, yes. Unless you're trying to tell me about a specific mimic, in which case I may not know what you're talking about. But no, I've killed... Alright. Alright. Whoa. Oh, okay. 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 Woo! Okay. So the old Dragon Slayer. Okay. I know you're curious, Madar. I was actually wondering if you were trying to clarify if there's a specific mimic you wanted me to kill. But, yeah, I have fought mimics, and I've killed them. Pretty easily. Oh, man. The old Dragon Slayer fight on a New Game Plus run, which is basically what we did because of the Bonfire Aesthetic. Getting to him is harder than actually dealing with him. It helps that he's very weak to darkness, and we had one of the best dark nuke spells in the game. Cracked light orbs. Or maybe the actual old Dragon Slayer wasn't on the New Game Plus cycle, and the reason we dealt so much damage to him is because we were basically playing an endgame level character against a New Game level boss, because there is a bonfire at this unique location that the old Dragon Slayer is located at. The old Dragon Slayer is Ornstein. That's the whole point of his reappearance here. It's literally just Ornstein without Smo. Yeah, Cleric's Parma and Tower Shield. Alright, now, as I was saying, the old Dragon Slayer was actually just a very easy opponent for us because he was still a new game level boss and we were a late game level character. So we could tear apart his HP like nothing, even if he had weakness to dark. I expected it to be harder solely because there are Red Phantoms in the area, but the actual Cathedral of Blue is unique from the rest of the Hyde's Tower of Flame area. So, yeah, we did, yeah. Ornstein was just super easy because we were super overpowered compared to how early in the game we were able to challenge him. Now let's talk to this guy.
Transient being. You have obtained proof you are worthy of joining our order. You may call yourself one of us and are free to plant your roots in this garden of the gods. Be proud. I, Targray, do proclaim from this day you are a Knight of the Blue. Rejoice and bask in your new honor.
You can choose to abandon your current covenant, which in my case is the Pilgrims of Dark, in order to join a covenant if you're already a member of a covenant. In this case, you can join the Blue Sentinels.
Do my ears deceive me? Who would refuse such magnificence? Gods have mercy on this half-wit. He knows not what he speaks.
Yeah, that's Targray. I'm a little bored, so bye. Oh, you're leaving Madar? Okay, sure. No problem. Goodbye. Alright. Anyway. So, to anyone still watching, Targray... The Blue Sentinels Covenant is basically connected to the Way of Blue Covenant you could join at the very beginning of the game that I explained. What we're talking about is that the Blue Sentinels are meant to help members of the Way of the Blue. You're automatically summoned to any member's world when they're invaded by a Red Phantom. The point of the Red of the Blue is to be invaded. And to invade. We only need about 2,000 more souls to level up.
There and...
Alright then, since we hit the Cathedral of Blue, next item on the list is going to take care of the Belfry Gargoyles. We have plenty of Pharaoh's Lockstone, so we can actually enter this area now. The Belfry Luna. We'll talk to that guy a little bit later. Oh. Oh, man. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Well, that actually works out for us because we still needed our character to be dead for the side quest I plan to do. But yeah, the reason I bum rushed the area is because the Belfry Luna area is one where you can be invaded at constantly by members of the Covenant coming up here.
The bell belongs to the princess, it do. Stay back and we slice you to bits. In my chance, we sharpen
Yeah. I'm gonna put on the Slumbering Dragon Crest shield now. Anyway, the fog gate's been unlocked, so we should just be able to go inside with no problem. Oh man, look at how much damage they're doing. Alright. Right. Yeah. Oh crap! We're out of souls! Okay. Belfry Gargoyle Soul. Alright. Soul around night. Okay, so here's the thing with that boss fight. It's a DPS race. There's a total of 6 Belfry Gargoyles who will come down and join in on the brawl. So the longer it takes you to kill one of the gargoyles off, the more gargoyles will come to swarm you until eventually you have to fight all 6 one at a time. All 6 at once. It's one of the worst designed boss fights in the game for that particular reason. And the worst part is, it's actually supposed to be a legacy boss version of the same exact kind of boss fight from not just Dark Souls 1, but from Demon Souls. And it's just worse than them because the difficulty isn't just from being swarmed by multiple boss-like enemies at once. It's from suddenly having to deal with a second boss-like enemy that's already challenging by themselves. The Belfry Gargoyles in this game are just a pale in comparison to the gargoyles in the previous 2 games. At least in my opinion. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one with that opinion in the fandom, though. We have the regular Southern Ritual Band for our trouble. Alright. So before I do anything else, we're going to go do that Aldia's Keep side quest now. Because why not? We're already dead, we might as well take care of that. like, okay, I was noticing it throughout the boss fight as well. It should become very apparent to you guys watching at home that the damage my halberd was dealing to that boss, as well as to any enemies in particular, varied greatly depending on how far and how close I was to the enemy at the time I hit them. If I was at a decent distance, then those guys were basically hit for twice the amount of damage I was already dealing than if I was just close up. That's because halberd weapons are some of the hardest to use in the game. And you have to hit the sweet spot with them, one or two-handed, or you deal the minimum amount of damage possible. So the halberds really depend on precision to get the most out of them. Like, see here, the blade is what you should be hitting with. If you go further than the blade, like if you start hitting them with the bone part of this weapon, for example, the blunt part of it, you deal half as much damage. That's the tricky part regarding halberds and pole arms and weapons like those.
Well, you're nicely hollowed, aren't you? Are you tormented by memories? Burdened by guilt? Now the question, are you ready for more? If you are, then we ought to talk. This contains my power. Long ago, this naive vessel of mine set about devising new spells. The fool dreamt of bringing new forms of magic into the world. But instead, he created me. Mostly by chance, but he did a fine job, I must say. What he sought was strength, and so I decided to demonstrate. While my vessel slept, I'd find my mark and hunt him down. But my vessel did not approve. And so while I slept, he sealed the both of us away.
So, the person in this chamber does a 180 in terms of personality, depending on if you're human or hollow. If you're human, you speak to his first meek personality, but if you're hollowed, you get to talk to the sadistic serial-killing personality right in front of us. This guy is Royal Sorcerer Navlan. He's actually described on the description of the Scraps of Life miracle hex that we picked up.
No, I don't have anything against humans. But how is it that you go about defining good and evil? I'm only using what the gods gave me. How can that be so wrong? So what say you to a spot of murder on my behalf? If you don't, I'll leave this place and take more lives. Many more. I couldn't give a fig either way, so what's your choice?
Yeah.
Yes, I see how very kind of you. I want you to kill a merchant named Gilligan. A greedy, foul man. He won't be missed, I assure you. Yes, bring me a ladder miniature as proof. Is the only person who'd have such an odd knick-knack.
Alright. So, there we go. These are the assassination side quests of Royal Sorcerer Navlan. The point is, you basically have the option of killing a character in order to get the item that Navlan requests of them. And when you do that, you'll be able to progress further into the quest line. I say you have the option of killing them because there are non-lethal ways of accomplishing this quest line. Oh, speaking of non-lethal, since I'm here. Mulgony armor offers souls to the grave. Sure, you have nothing else to do with them. If you kill an NPC in a Majula, After enough time passes, they have a gravestone you can use. With the cost of some souls.
Oh, hello again. I hope you find some...
Oh, his stock doesn't upgrade.
Well,
I don't know if his stock would upgrade even after you've killed him, because that seems unlikely. But the point I'm telling you is that you can still access the merchants you kill. You just can't... You'll just have to pay souls each and every time you leave Majula to do it. So anyway.
Hey, what?
So the only purpose of buying the ladder miniature, or even acquiring it by killing that Gilligan, is to progress in the side quest of Navlands.
Cheers for that.
Alright, Navlan, here's your miniature. I know this may seem a little cheaty, that you can do this side quest non-lethally, but I think of it as a role-playing opportunity. You're basically duping a serial killer. So it's a little bit of, like, an interesting niche in the whole thing. Plus, you may still need Gilligan for some ladder mishaps later, so, you know.
Fine work. This is my thanks. Take it.
To the spelling ring.
Now let's discuss our next mark.
Alright, the spelling ring increases your resistances to every single school of magic. If you were to wear it, that's how far your elemental defenses would go up.
I want you to kill one more. Your target will be Kale, the man who's drafting that map. While I was trapped in here, he touched me, that maniac, like I was some rare specimen. He wore a strange helm. Bring it back as proof.
Alright, yeah, sure.
Yes, I knew I could count on you. Perhaps this will slake my thirst.
Now, that's going to actually take a while. Because in order to do that, we have to light... In order to do this part non-lethally, we have to... We have to accomplish, well, most of the main plot. We could just kill Kale, but I don't want to do that, so we'll accomplish the main plot. Yeah. Let's just speed this up. In the original game, you had to go through the entirety of the Dragon Eyrie in order to progress to the Dragon Shrine. which is that giant castle up ahead. But because the playtesters noticed that the players loved using the Dragon's Eyrie to farm for rare upgrade materials, that option was removed and instead made optional. So now, we can just cross this bridge. Now, here's the thing about this bridge. In the original game, your ability to cross this bridge successfully depended on the amount of dragon eggs you did not destroy while you were going through the Dragon's Eyrie. If you destroyed too many of the dragon's eggs while you're walking across this bridge, the dragons would come down and crash into the bridge, destroying it and killing you. Basically warning you not to do that. You can't just stick around with those eggs, man. Those are precious. Alright. Oh, look. It's Aldia, the Scholar of the First Sin again.
Young Harlow, how grapple without falter with this dreadfully twisted world?
He's a lot smaller in here because the model couldn't possibly fit inside this little area.
Peace grants men the illusion of love. Shackled by falsehoods they yearn for love, unaware of his grand illusion. Until a curse touches the flesh. We are bound by this yoke. And as truth after charm within me. All men trust fully the illusion of life. But is this so wrong? A construction facade, and yet a woeful warmth must enter us. Young Harlow, are you intent on shattering the yoke, spoiling this wonderful force?
You pick yes here again to his question, because I am here to make positive change, you know.
I am Aldia. I sought to shed the yoke of fate, but failed. Now, I only give an answer, and seek the truth. Seek light, dark, and what lies beyond.
See, the metaphors going on, huh? Alright. Let's light this bonfire. Whew, okay. Now, this area in the previous game was... I'm sorry, in the previous version of the game, this area was so unlikable because these Drake Keepers had infinite stamina, and every enemy in the vicinity would aggro onto you and try to kill you. I'm going to use a Ferrous Lockstone here because I'm curious what the actual reward here is. Oh, you still get the Judgment set, but because you can find the Staff of Wisdom way earlier in the game now, you no longer find it there, which actually makes using that particular Ferrous Lockstone less worth it. The Staff of Wisdom is the best staff in the game to use if you're running a sorcerer, because it has the highest int scaling of all staffs in the game. So in the original version of the game, you can only find the Staff of Wisdom literally in one of the last areas of the game. which is wild. It really made sorcerer builds really underpowered for the vast majority of the game. So going pure int wasn't very much fun. But in this version of the game, these Drake Keepers are just really cool dudes who want you to fight everyone with honor. They don't want you to run past the enemies or they will attack you. That's how they're characterized now. Just honorable dudes who want to test your mettle. Planet slab. We 3 KO these guys. We have a Dragon's Charm to show for it. Set this Spice and Twilight Herb. Third Dragon Ring. We'll put that on after we deal with the Invader here. Dragon Fang Villard. Yeah, we almost took out all of his health with a 4-hit combo. Using nothing but sweet spot hits. Yeah, the bladed edge of a halberd is a sweet spot. That's what you want to hit to do the most damage. That's what you want to attack with to do the most damage. The petrified egg is what we want to get if you want to enter the way of the Dragon Covenant. As well as a petrified something. By the way, the point of these steel chests is that they contain unique items that you won't be able to farm if you use a bonfire aesthetic to reset every item in the area. You'll have to wait until you get to a proper New Game Plus in order to reuse these items. So it's like developer oversight to make certain chests that way. Got you. So that was an honorable duelist there. One last test before you can meet The dragon god. Well, the ancient dragon. The murk shifts and stirs. Yet another stanza for us. Yet another stanza before us. And so be it. The curse of life is the curse of want. Ooh. And so you peer. Into the fog in hopes of answers. Ashen Mistheart. And that's all this dragon will say to you, without even speaking to you, by the way. Alright, now... Oh, I forgot. Once you actually get to Aldia's Keep, there's a piece of dialogue that Nishandra has for you. There's a piece of dialogue that the Queen has for you regarding the dragon, the ancient dragon.
Brave undead, what did that dragon tell you? That thing is a prop, a false deity. Don't be fooled, my undead. Seek the forest, you, where those wretched giants slumber.
Yeah. So, okay, we didn't miss the dragon comment. False deity. Here's the thing. The ancient dragon and all those other guardian dragons that we saw flying around the dragon area, and even inside, they all came from Aldia's Keep. They're all man-made creations. Aldia made each and every one of them. Yeah, each and every one of those dragons is a fake. Alright, if you have the King's Ring equipped, then none of the statues will come to life while you're inside Drank Lake Castle. It's to recognize your authority as the next monarch. So basically, it means you're safe from any of the statue business. Alright. The Throne of Want. This is a long, twisted road to the throne. Alright. We can summon Benhart for this fight, and we need to do that anyway, because he still has a quest line we need to complete. Oh my god, wow. Yeah, these two, don't take your eyes off of one of them. If it's actually probably for the best if you summon a phantom to focus on one while you take care of the other. Sure, why not? You're not going to be around forever, though. It's so rare to even get people to summon in this game. Alright, let's get warmed up. You should know how high a level I am with this much soul memory, so... Cole Pepper. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Sorry if I got that wrong. Alright. Alright, that should be it. Got sunlight medal for my trouble. Return to the last bonfire I sat at. So the Throne Watcher and Throne Defender are obviously more difficult if you go in there solo. But, nah. I pretty much don't do that fight solo anymore. There's just... It's not really an enjoyable fight solo. Because of how small the arena is. Reason we did that was so we can continue the Navland quests. heroes, right? Alright. Aside from lighting the 4 primal bonfires, there are several other lights that light up in this on this map, depending on how far you get into the main story. Defeating the last giant, lost sinner. One of these is for defeating the last giant. Wow. Okay. So yeah, beat the last giant, the lost sinner, the old Iron King, Duxir Freya, the Rotten, get the King's Ring, get the Ashen Mist Heart, and defeat the Throne Washer and Defender. That lights up every heart.
Even more flames have appeared. I don't know what causes it.
I already heard this.
It seems that all the flames have been lit. It makes me feel somehow... Wait. What am I doing here? Who are you again?
Yeah. Even Kale seems to be forgetting at this point. It's a little sad. Especially because I like him. He doesn't have much character, but he doesn't want to hurt anyone. He just wants to see this map, wants to understand the landscape, the geography.
Fate brought us together for a reason. Take these, and may they help you on your travels.
Alright, now we have Kale's set. And as a result of that, we're able to complete more of Navland's quests. Especially since after this one, I think we could just bum rush the remaining couple of quests right at this location. Oh, this is way too late to start mentioning this, but the reason... No, I probably already talked about using the Black Witch's Staff over a dedicated Kime in the Sunset Staff earlier. I mostly did it so I could have the versatility. But really, I also did because if I didn't start using it, all that farming I did for it would have been for nothing. So I'm going to use it for a while. Black superheroes. No, read that. Don't be an idiot.
This is my thanks. Take it.
Simpleton's Spice.
Our next mark. I want you to kill one more. Your target is Felkin the Hexer. As proof, bring me that peculiar scepter of his. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yes, very good. But he will be formidable. Be cautious.
What he wants you to do is bring him Felkin's Sunset Staff. But if you got it for free earlier, you can just present it to him. It doesn't matter how much you've upgraded it, he'll still accept that you have it.
Fine work. This is my thanks. Take it.
And for that, you get the Forbidden Sun Pyromancy. It's one of the most powerful pyromancies in the game, but it's really costly to use. As I was saying, the Forbidden Sun Pyromancy is one of the most powerful pyromancies in the game, but it takes 3 spell slots for you to equip it, and even then, you really only get 1 or maybe 2 charges out of it, depending on how high your attunement slots are. So, it's a nuke spell, but it's really it's really costly to use. It's almost not worth using unless you're super dedicated to casting.
You dozen like that and it wouldn't matter. I want you to kill someone of import. I want you to kill the girl in Majula, known as the Muse. They say that she is the last firekeeper, but they say a lot of things. That she's a gentle shepherd, lighting the way for you cursed fools. Nonsense. Once she is dead, I will have no regrets, and I will be content to remain here. The girl will have a peculiar feather. Bring it to me. Now go along.
Now, obviously, if you're able to get Kale's armor set non-lethally, you already have the aged feather he's talking about.
Yes. That's the feather. Good. Oh, that is very good. Your reward. Take it.
And get Unleash Magic as your reward. It's a powerful buff sorcery. Boosts magic within the body beyond even your own limits, but at a great cost of HP. What basically does is, you sacrifice the total amount of your HP bar, and then for about 1 minute or 30 seconds, you deal 20% more damage with your pyromancies, your hexes, and most importantly, your sorceries, because it is a sorcery, not a hex or a pyromancy. The terrible deeds carried out in Aldia led to the unintentional birth of several shadowy things, all of them eerily malformed. Yikes, lore on Aldia. Fact, Forbidden Sun. Pyromancy developed in Aldean rites fires a giant fireball of a widely encompassing explosion. What could possibly justify such excessive destructive power? In all likelihood, the madmen of Aldia never even questioned the need. So you can see that stuff like Unleashed Magic and Forbidden Sun were basically hidden, forbidden magics created through excessive, horrific research. I mean, excessively horrific. The lore behind them is very grisly.
What do you require? You've been good to me. Go on. Tell me what you need.
And as a result of completing his assassination side quests, you get a new merchant they can only access when you're hollow. This guy sells the Black Witch Robe. The Black Witch Robe has the best elemental defenses of any piece of armor in the game. So if you're going for a min-max type of approach, that's probably one of the best sets to equip. Another Quartz Ring +2, Lightning, Fire, and Destructive Great Arrows for you strength bow casting users. He also sells you 10 Bonfire Aesthetics, which is probably the most important item he has available. Although that's really, again, only for people who really like farming. And finally, he sells you Great Magic Weapon and Strong Magic Shield.
These are for you.
Oh, and talking to him gives you the Chaos set.
Don't mind the specks of blood. Well, as you wish.
Alright, the Chaos Robe. Robe worn by a Chaos Sorcerer. He calls himself Navlan now. Not much lore, but at the same time, it's very telling. First of all, it makes it very clear that Navlan doesn't even remember who he used to be. He doesn't remember. How could he? Alright. Alright, let's make ourselves human again.
I haven't said anything strange, have I? I have absolutely no intention of leaving here. Do not attempt to help me. Just let me sit here and wither quietly away.
Yeah. No problem, dude. I have no problem just leaving you there. A merchant's a merchant, no matter how morally dubious in this world. Especially since in this world, moral dubiosity is not all that important. Alright, let's see. Doors of Ferris. The next boss I want to clear up on our list is the Royal Rat Authority. Yeah. Two amber herbs. As you can see, these things are really disgusting, deranged-looking rats. Power damage too strong for you. Alright. Poise damage. And... oh, we have the Gurm Great Shield. Yeah, this was. I want you to look at the Gurm Great Shield for a second. A Great Shield used by the nomadic Gurm. Appears to be a stone monument that was converted into a makeshift shield. Naturally, it's quite heavy and haphazardly crafted, but very few attacks will make it past this monster. Look at the defenses for this thing. 100% physical reduction and 100% fire reduction. That means no physical or fire damage will get through the shield when you're blocking with it. Oh. Oh, yeah. Spiked walls. That's gonna be pretty grisly. But, yeah. The reason we're doing all this traveling is to go to here. Oh, ouch. Oh crap, he dodged one. Okay. Alright, when I said this boss wasn't fun to fight, I mostly meant because he starts with ads. Oh, and he has wonky hitboxes as well, so there's a possibility that your physical attacks with your weapons may not connect when you think they should. Oh, look at this guy.
Thou returnest. I am not unkind. Shouldst thou forbear thy ways, audience shall be thine. Swearest thou to serve me true?
No.
Then we need consort.
Yeah. So that was the Royal Rat Vanguard. He's actually pretty tricky, even solo. But it's mostly because if you're... He also has this... He never used it, but he has this spitting poison attack that can seriously mess you up your gear if you stay in the poison pool for too long. He vomits poison. It destroys your gear and it does damage. So it's not very fun to fight then, if that happens to you. But other than that, the boss is fairly manageable, if tricky to hit, because of the hitbox wonkiness I mentioned earlier, that thankfully I didn't have to go through. So excuse me, I have to use the bathroom for a quick second. Stamina. Alright, I'm back. So, we're here. Since we have a new spell slot, we'll attune Yearn. And then, we'll travel back to Huntsman's Copse. Yeah, these guys. Those guys hit hard in terms of melee damage. Prisoner's waistcloth, yeah. Notched wit. So you might want to have a very strategic approach to taking them on if you're not comfortable in dodging their attacks. But at this point, they died to 2 dark orbs. That guy comes down. Oh, that was a counter hit because of the fact that he was about to attack us. And they dropped the cracked red eye orb. A red fam shows up here to ruin your day. Yo. Alright. Alright then. The last boss we're going to deal with for this video is the Executioner's Chariot. Ouch. Yeah. So yeah, the difficulty of this boss fight lies in running the gauntlet all the way up to where the Skeleton Lord is. So during the Executioner's Chariot, we have to do this lever. Ooh. And that's the end of you. Yo. So again, this boss would be more difficult if you had approached it as soon as possible. As soon as you actually gained access to Huntsman's Copes. But we're in-game level, so no big deal. The only actual challenge was you can still die here if you get ganked by those respawning skeletons, but it's the same gimmick we already dealt with on the way to the Skeleton Lords. Kill the necromancers and the skeletons will no longer respawn, and even better, you can use the boss to kill the skeletons for you if you use Yearn to crowd control. So now we have 1 sorcery, 1 miracle, and a lot of hexes to quit. Okay. This guy.
Oh, welcome. Welcome. Do you have a lust for blood?
Sure.
Yes, of course. Why else would you be here? Do you give yourself the honor?
Sure.
Then you will need blood. Lots of it. Undead blood, like your own. It's not as easy as you think. What do you say? Join the Brotherhood of Blood?
No.
Well, that's no fun. Go back home. This is no place for you.
So yeah, the Brotherhood of Blood. If the Blue Sentinels are basically functioned to be summoned into a player's world when Red Phantoms invade, then the Brotherhood of Blood is exact opposite. You are the invading Red Phantom. The entire point of this covenant is to get infinite amounts of this item, Cracked Red Eye Orb. Like, you use Cracked Red Eye Orbs to invade other worlds, and by killing the player of the other world, you get tokens of spite. What you do with the Brotherhood of Blood is that you trade in tokens of spite for Covenant rewards. And the opposite would be the Cracked Blue Eye Orbs you get from, you know, Targray and the Blue Sentinels Covenant. What you do is punish the guilty, i.e. the Red Phantoms who invade other people's worlds. Or, in general, just players who accumulate a lot of sin through killing their NPC merchants or whatever. Yeah, this is the Player Killer Covenant. You invade other people's worlds, and you kill them for higher Covenant level rewards, or just to dick around and have fun with PvP. This is basically how you do it. So if you really want to dedicate your time to invasions, you have to deal with the Undead Purgatory. The Undead Purgatory. You have to deal with that in order to truly get into the whole invading mechanic. Alright, I want this video's thumbnail to have a good looking title screen. I want a good looking thumbnail, so we're going to end the whole thing off by going back in front of the Dragon God. I mean, I keep calling it the Dragon God. Drakekeeper Sword. Oh, the Drakekeeper Sword. I got that turn 1. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, these guys will all just bow down to you and just do you a massive solid. Okay, that looks good enough. Let's go over some lore with the boss souls, shall we? Let's start with the Executioner's Chariot. The Executioner has slain countless undead and continues to slay them again and again, eternally. Little does he know that it is not by his own will that he slays the dead, but that of his horse. Because, see, we saw another copy of that horse haunting Drang Lake Castle, right? When the boss name says Executioner's Chariot, that's who the actual boss is. The thing pulling the skeleton and the thing actually running over all those undead bones. Not the rider, but the actual chariot. The horses is the boss. Oh, another thing about the horse is that there's another way to beat it without going through the entire corridor in order to kill it. What you can do is use a ranged weapon like a spell or a bow to snipe at the Executioner's Chariot from inside a cubbyhole. You can keep doing this. You'll do middling damage if you do this early in the game, of course. But you can keep doing this until eventually the chariot will be too weakened to make the leap across that giant chasm. You didn't get a look at the chasm, but there's a huge hole there. And you can't make that leap. They will struggle to stay. It will fall almost into the hole with only its two front hooves keeping it from falling to its death. You can just attack the boss from there and get an easy boss kill. So it's a pretty interesting way to kill that boss, and I'm glad that method's in the game because it does make sense for that method to work. We already know that bosses can fall down into the pits if their pathing is unfortunate, like how I was able to farm the Dragon Rider boss in the first video. So it's a pretty interesting way to kill it. Next is the Royal Rat Authority. A loyal servant of the Rat King and the enforcer of his authority, this gargantuan dog rat is also responsible for testing the strength and virtue of visitors to his lord's domain. Basically, the Royal Rat Authority is an enormous, decaying wolf rat. It's like... And yeah, he's also the Royal Rat King's bodyguard. That's why it's called the Authority. He's like a guard dog for him. Literally a guard dog. And one of the ugliest bosses in the game. I honestly don't want to look at it too much, just because the idea of that thing technically being a rat is horrifying in a nauseating fashion. Interestingly enough, you can just skip him. He's very skippable. The Undead Purgatory, the Royal Rat Authority, they're entirely skippable. You never really have to deal with them. Alright, who's next? You don't have to deal with these bosses. That's why you saved them for the end of this video, because we really just didn't have to bother with them. The Belfry Gargoyles. Gargoyles that have been used as guardians throughout the ages, stretching back into the early age of fire. What brings these mysterious sentinels to life? Perhaps the sound of the bells they guard awakens them, or do the gentle chimes comfort them in their long stone sleep? Yeah, not much to say there. The Age of Fire reference dictates that they are in fact holdovers from the Dark Souls 1 version of the boss fight. It was just brought back into a crappier form. So there's not much for me to add there. And finally, the old Dragon Slayer. It appears that we still haven't seen the last of Lord Gwyn's mighty knights, Dragon Slayer Ornstein. But this time, he's alone, and something seems odd. Instead of the lightning powers he once possessed, he attacks with the power of darkness. Is this truly the same proud white-faced Lordran? If so, the flow of time is distorted indeed. If not, then where else could the soul Dragon Slayer have come from? So yeah, the lore there is that he's possibly Ornstein. Instead, however, he's now, not a lightning user like he was in Dark Souls 1, but he uses hexes. And it's really strange. Like, the cynical way to look at it is that he's just in there for fan service. Like, yeah, this is the sequel to Dark Souls, and people like this boss a lot, so we just brought this boss back. But I do like speculating on why he could possibly be here. And how he actually got here. Because he does, in fact, use hexes against you if you make him last long enough in the boss fight. But we never gave him the chance because, like, he was too low a level compared to our high level to really lay a dent in us. He got a lucky hit in, but that's about all he could do. Oh, man. Ornstein, alright. Well, okay, we got a lot done today. We took care of some straggling bosses that we didn't deal with the first time. And we progressed the plot all the way to this guy, getting to the, Ancient Dragon. And now we have the Ashen Mist Heart. The next thing we have to do, in fact, the last thing we have to do to close out the storyline, is use the Ashen Mist Heart in order to retrieve the memory of the giants. That's the only thing that will let us use the power of the Throne of Want. So, check that out next time. And if you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So, have a good night. This is Very Mailman signing off. Embrace the dark, I guess.